Hello, my name's Jana Call, and I'm your child's sixth grade science teacher this year. So a little bit about myself. This is my 8th year teaching here at IMS. I also teach Tech Block. I'm one of the cross-country coaches, and I'm also the dance club advisor. I went to Wheaton College for my undergrad, and I studied applied health science and got my master's in teaching math and science from Seattle Pacific University. So a little bit about science in 6th grade. It really is a survey course. We do a little bit of everything. We do a little bit of physics, a little bit of life science. We do use the next generation science standards. So those are national standards similar to how Common Core has standards for math and language arts. There are also national standards for science. And there are 8 science and engineering practices that are embedded in those standards, and that talks about how we teach science. Oops, I missed a slide. Let's go back. There will be 6 units that we'll cover this year: Science and Technology, Robolab, Sound and Light, Ecology and the Environment, Forces in Motion, and Electricity and Magnetism. Their curriculum that we use it's called Interactive Science. It's a curriculum by Pearson. Students do have physical workbooks. This year, I'm having them keep their workbooks in the classroom so that they have them when they need them, and they don't have access to lockers this year. So they will be keeping their workbooks in the classroom. Occasionally, they can take them home if they want to get ready for a test or something like that. And there's also a website that we'll be using occasionally. It's called Pearson Realize, and they do have access to an electronic version of the workbook through the website, and there is text-to-speech available through the website as well. So if that would be helpful for your student, that is available. So I'll tell you a little bit about each unit. So starting with Science and Technology, that's the one that we're starting the year off with. There are 2 big questions that we focus on. How do scientists investigate the natural world? And how is mathematics important to the work of scientists? There is an at-home project that goes along with this unit. Students will be designing and building a solar oven. Then they'll bring their solar ovens to school. We hope for a sunny day, and we'll go out and test them one day. And then on the second day, if the weather cooperates, we will make s'mores in our solar ovens. The second unit that we'll be doing this year is Robolab, and it's primarily an engineering unit. So our big question is, how can I design a solution to a problem? We use the Lego Mindstorm kit, so they will actually be building a physical robot that looks like what you see on the screen, and then they can program that robot using some coding, and that's actually a little bit different from what you see on the screen there. But they will be working in partners for this. They will design, build, and then for their final project, they will program a robot that performs a useful task. Our next unit will be Sound and Light, so all about waves. The big questions for this unit are, what are the properties of waves? What determines the pitch and loudness of sound? And how does light interact with matter? So all about sound and light waves. Next, we will go into ecology and the environment. The big questions there are, how do living things affect one another? And how do energy and matter move through ecosystems? So we spend a lot of time talking about energy roles within ecosystems, food chains, food webs, energy pyramids, etc. Then we go into forces in motion. Our big questions are, how do you describe the motion of an object? And how do objects react to forces? So a big part of what we do is we learn about Newton's 3 laws of motion. And there is an in-class project that goes along with this unit. We will be making paper roller coasters, and the students will get a marble that goes through the roller coaster. And our last unit of the year is electricity and magnetism. Our big questions are, how does an electric circuit work? And how are electricity and magnetism related? So we learn about electric charges, protons, electrons, how energy flows. We talk about series and parallel circuits, and then we get into electromagnetism. And we do have an in-class project that we'll end the year with. Students will make an electromagnetic fishing rod, and then we'll have a fishing derby in class where students will catch and release as many paper clips with their electromagnet as they can in a minute. So a little bit about my grading categories and weighting. So 30% of their overall grade will be based on formative and formative assessments, and those are mainly quizzes. And 70% of their grade will be summative assessments, and those will typically be tests or projects. There also is a habits of learning category that does not affect their overall grade, but it is a way for me to communicate with you about their work habits and participation. So a little bit more about that habits of learning category. This is the rubric that we will use. I'll have students self-score on their habits of learning. So it's based on a 4-point scale. 1 is beginner, 2 is approaching, 3 is at standard, and 4 is exemplary. So my expectation is that most students will be at a 3, and a 3 says I've turned in my assignments. Some of them might be turned in late, and I participate in class regularly. A 4 would mean I've completed all work on time to my highest ability. I'm fully engaged, and I'm helping to lead in small and large groups. So a note about this, again, it does not affect their overall grade. But again, it's just a way for me to communicate with you about how they're doing in class with work completion and participation and things like that. Another note, do not look for this category. Do not look at the letter grade in Skyward. Skyward automatically converts everything that goes in the gradebook to a percentage. So a 3 out of 4 in Skyward will look like a 75% or a C. But that is not the case. If they get a 3, that is meeting standard. It's not a C, it's their meeting standard. So how to best support your 6th grader? Please check Skyward with your student regularly. Skyward is updated at least every 2 weeks. Please check Schoology with them for overdue assignments. Homework will not be entered into Skyward. So the best way to see if they're keeping up on their assignments is to check Schoology and see if they have any overdue assignments. And last but not least, 6th grade, a lot of it is working on organization and time management. So anything you could do to help out with that would be great. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me, email is the best way. You can also call me. That phone is directly in my classroom. So just be aware if you call during the day, I might not answer because I'll probably be busy teaching. But if the phone works better for you, you are welcome to reach me that way as well. Thank you.